We need to talk about this.
Now, this is something that I know that Game Zone has recently spoken about, and I've not actually ever covered anything like this in my videos before, but we're going to be looking at the market today. Now, this is really dependent on what server you are on. If you're on a huge server cluster like myself, obviously it's a little bit more tricky. Obviously, 5-star gems are cross server, dependent on your region. So that's a little bit easier to sell on now from experience and from what I've seen other people saying. A lot of the time, if it's a low priced 5-star gem, people struggle to actually obtain them because so many people are bidding on it at that minute or second it goes live. But we're going to be looking at normal gems and also 1-star gems. So I've made a sale here of Cold Confidant. As you can see, I sold it at the lowest price. Market then takes a transaction fee, which we've kind of been pushing back on this, or I've kind of been pushing back on this and asking for this to be removed because it doesn't seem right to actually have like tax on platinum, but that's just my opinion. So yeah, that is a sale that I've made there. But these gems, you can see some of them have expired, and I can update them, but they're probably not going to sell. And on markets like my one on my server, normal gems like rubies, you can see there is a ridiculous amount of them available. So these generally don't sell. If they do sell, it's really lucky. You might have to keep relisting it over and over again to actually get that sale. Same with tourmaline. There's not as many of those active. I think a lot of newer players to Diablo Immortal generally spend on tourmaline, and also there's been some misinformation from a certain YouTuber recently, who some of you are familiar with and some of you may not be, but they recently made some videos about secondaries and what is and isn't important. And honestly, don't waste your money on any of the red socket gems. Don't buy them in the market ever. But I do not sell normal gems personally. So for me, that is an area where I cannot make any platinum. Now, all of the gems that I've got listed are obviously ones that I've gained from purchasing those eternal crests. Now, if you're free to play, you can obviously craft eternal crests when you cap your elder rifts and you have those fading embers, or you can use platinum and craft one each week, which I kind of recommend not doing, because for 1,600 platinum, which is the cost of that gem, you might get a gem that's only going to sell for 400 and then going to have tax taken off of that. So in my opinion, don't waste your platinum on that. By all means, craft the free ones if you want to. That's the only ones that I actually get from that. I know that some people like to purchase the Eternal Crest with your platinum, but like I said, it's just a complete waste when you might not even make that money back. So don't risk it, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I do have a 5-star gem here, Haunt Coil. I'm not selling those because I'm planning on actually using that gem eventually. Runes are another thing that on our server they do not sell. I've had these orange ones, Laz, and the 2 yellow ones I've had listed before, and they've been on the market for over a month and not sold. So those areas are really difficult. Familiars are another area that seems quite difficult. These ones I'm not planning on selling, but quite often, even if you have them listed at the lowest price on our cluster especially, they do not seem to sell. So at the moment, the only way to make platinum from the market generally will be Terra Essence, which you can see sell for a really low price, and from 5-star legendary gems, because those are the ones that are cross server. So yeah, market at the moment is dead. You can see as well, value has decreased a lot on some of these gems. Wolfure selling for 29k platinum, for even a 3-star there. You've got a couple of 3-stars going up for 29k platinum. That gem has lost its value a lot since Haunt Coil came into game, because Haunt Coil is a stronger gem. Myself and Game Zone have both tested that and made videos on that. But some of the other gems, as you can see, like Colossus Engine, is still going really strong on the cross server markets. And those are the gems that if you get them in an Elder Rift, if you get them from your Eternal Crest and you're not in a position to spend in game and upgrade it, then it's definitely worth actually listing that in the market, making yourself some platinum, then using it in the areas that you need to. But overall market is dead. I don't know what the answer is for it, to be honest. The only gems that sell are the ones that are desirable, and Fading Nostrum and Stubborn Oracle are not desirable gems. Mercy's Harvest, I'm surprised this hasn't sold. I've been relisting this for almost a month now. And this gem is inside a couple of the 5-star gems for the resonance bonus. So I'm surprised that that one has not yet sold at the lowest price. But it is what it is. And some of the 1-star set gems sell quicker than others. So I always find that if I have Carson's, that generally sells pretty quickly. Heartstone, I'm going to remove that because I've got 2 of them and I'd rather stack them and sell them together. Falter Grasp, again, I've had this for over a month and it is not selling. Surging Sea and Entropic Well seem to sell okay on the market. But generally, it is a really tricky area at the moment. And if you're making platinum in the market, then good on you. I know I have friends in other servers and they're making loads of platinum from normal gems. These specifically Tourmaline and Ruby are actually selling on their server, so it does depend on your cluster. But on our cluster, the only normal gems that seem to sell are Sapphires, Citrines, and obviously Aquamarine as well. Otherwise, generally the gems don't sell. And like I said, if you're like me, you might not want to sell those gems because you might actually want to keep them for upgrading, which is exactly what I do. But other than that, as I said, 1-star gems, 2-star gems, runes, they just don't sell. I'd be interested to hear what it's like on your server, what region you're from. Let me know what region you're from. Let me know what server you're on and how the market's feeling for you. I know that the general consensus is that it's really tough out there and people aren't making platinum. But as I said, I do know that I've got friends on other servers that are actually selling a lot of rubies and tourmalines as well, which is absolutely mind-blowing to me. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you've been finding on your market, on your server. And I purposely didn't watch Game Zone's video because I wanted to have my own opinion on this, and this is totally my own opinion. Market is dead. But as I said, I think this is kind of region dependent. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this video useful, insightful, especially if you're new to Diablo Immortal. And I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day. Official Diablo Partner.